right, it's 5:15. We're here for our regular scheduled meeting. First thing we're going to do is our Pledge of Allegiance. We have some veterans here. If you wouldn't mind stepping up and leading us, that would be great.
Detail, halt, right face. Please rise and remove your hats for Pledge of Allegiance. Present arms. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
to left face. Detail, dismiss.
Thank you. Let's see, roll call. We're missing a couple city council. If I could get a motion for excused absence.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to excuse Council Members Navarro Gomez and Council Member Hornby from tonight's meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rostin and a second by Councilmember Cuevas to excuse Councilmember Navarro Gomez and Hornby. Any discussion or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, this time is for our community to welcome your comments. We truly do welcome your comments, which are very important to us. The citizen comments is a period to provide the opportunity for members of the public to address the council on any matter, including items on the agenda. When recognized, just please step up to the podium, give your name and mailing address, and state the matter of interest. We are going to be limited to 3 minutes, and then the microphone gets shut off. There's no discussion with the city council back and forth. That's not how the public comments work. And if you have similar viewpoints or a viewpoint of somebody else, you can just come up and state your name and address and say, I agree, for time. It is also that we're not going to have applause or audible reactions. We want to make sure we respect everybody here. So who would like to come up first? I saw your hand first, then I saw your hand next. So here we go.
Jessica Erin Reams. My address is 1340 Montana Court, Wenatchee, Washington, 98801. Good afternoon, Council. My name is Jessie Reams. I'm a resident of Wenatchee, an attorney, a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, and I'm speaking today in my capacity as a founding member of Wenatchee's chapter of the National Lawyers Guild, a professional association dedicated to safeguarding the civil rights and liberties of historically marginalized individuals. This includes members of the LGBTQIA+ community who have and continue to face discrimination and oppression at a local and national level. I want to begin with this. Disparate treatment is a form of discrimination under both federal and state law. The city states in its FAQ, released on April 29th, that the application submitted by NCW Equity Alliance was incomplete, but that the TPUSA Vector College application contained only a scrivener's error. The city chose to work with TPUSA Vector College to correct their error and complete their application, yet they did not extend the same grace to NCW Equity Alliance. This is disparate treatment. A simple phone call to confirm that NCW Equity Alliance intended to use the same design they have used for years would have ensured equal treatment. The city's choice is deafening, a message that echoes and reverberates through our valley. The members of our community will be treated differently here, that our voices matter less, that our lives carry less weight. And when you hear this message repeatedly, it seeps into your marrow and makes you ask yourself, am I enough? Do I belong? Am I worthy? As a society, we have already answered these questions. Through the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Washington Law Against Discrimination, we affirmed that every individual possesses inherent worth and dignity, and that disparate treatment is unlawful for precisely this reason. I will close by saying this. I hold grace and respect for every member of this community. I ask respectfully but firmly that our city's leadership do the same by extending that grace and respect equally to all individuals and groups. Thank you.
I am Ashley Sinner. My address is 1289 6th Place, East Wenatchee, 98802. I am a board member of the North Central Washington Equity Alliance, and I am reading a statement from our executive director, Juan Diaz, who could not be here. Our organization was created to support, protect, and uplift communities in our region that have been historically marginalized, including our LGBTQIA community, communities of color, immigrants, people with disabilities, veterans, seniors, and many others who have too often been made to feel invisible or unwelcome. We will not minimize the existence, dignity, or humanity of LGBTQIA+ community. Their lives and contributions are part of the fabric of this community, and they deserve the same visibility and respect as anyone else. We believe every person in Wenatchee deserves to feel safe, valued, and that they belong. Regarding the banner application process, on March 2nd, I went to submit an application and was turned away. On March 23rd, when applications reopened, I submitted in person and clearly stated that our banners would be the exact same design displayed in previous years. Banners that are not new and have been part of recognizing Pride Month in downtown Wenatchee for several years. I paid and left believing our application was complete. While the city considered our application incomplete, I believe there was room for discretion. The city itself has recognized Pride Month through official proclamations, and RCW 43.114.070 designates June as Pride Month in Washington State and encourages public entities to recognize the lives, history, achievements, and contributions of the LGBTQ people. In contrast, the approved banners submitted by Turning Point USA promote Family Month, which does not appear to meet the banner policy criteria requiring banners display a city-permitted event, a defined seasonal activity, or a widely recognized public awareness campaign. Turning Point USA has been designated a hate organization by the Southern Poverty Law Center since 2024. We have requested clarification from the mayor on how those banners qualify. The only communication we have received from the mayor has been to direct us to the FAQ page, which does not answer this question. We respectfully request that the City Council consider two things: revising the policy to bar hate groups designated by the SPLC or ADL from sponsoring banners, and adopting a policy that designates specific months for recurring themes beloved in our community, such as April for Apple Blossom, November for Veterans, and June for Diversity, honoring both Pride Month and Juneteenth, nationally acknowledged observances that celebrate diversity, history, and inclusion of marginalized communities. We have not applied for any other banners, and we will not do so until the city has established a process that is clear, respectful, transparent, and consistent.
Okay, remember, we got both views here. Hang on just a sec. I think she was here next. Thank you, Josh. Yeah.
Okay, they're red. Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Hauser. My address is 815 Nelson Ave in Wenatchee, Washington. I am a local public defender, and I am a member of the LGBTQIA+ community. I wish we didn't have to care about a banner. I wish we didn't have to have this conversation. I wish this didn't become such a big deal, but it is. The mission of Caton Lauder is to, and this is a quote from the freedomcon26.com website, and it says, "He has taken on the battle of replacing the gay pride flags typically flown along the streets of Wenatchee with banners that celebrate the core of every community, family. Replacing the gay pride flag. That is his intention. It's not to celebrate Family Month. It's not to share the values of his organization. It is to replace the gay pride flag. And that's why this matters. That's why we have to care about a banner, is because the statistics of violence against the LGBTQIA+ community in this country are staggering. There was just a transgender student murdered in Seattle, 19 years old. Banners are indicative of a bigger problem, of a bigger hatred, and a bigger issue against our community. Representation matters. This is not the first time I've stood in front of City Council. I interviewed alongside with Ms. Navarro Gomez for the City Council position 2 years ago. She was an excellent choice, by the way. But I told you representation matters. You need an LGBTQIA plus voice at your table, because this issue wouldn't have happened if the city had had representation at the table. We could have told you that this issue would have happened. This exact same issue is happening in East Wenatchee as well. You knew this was coming down the pipeline, and we're still here. We still have to argue about banners. We still have to fight for our existence in this community. Lastly, put it into code. City Council needs to address this. It can't be left to a first come, first serve, because we cannot trust city staff to not treat people disparately. The values are clear with city staff, so we need it to be put into code so it's clear and that we have a code that we can litigate if necessary. Lastly, Pride is a city-sponsored event. It is a city-sponsored event. Apple Blossom is too, and so is Veterans Day, but so is Pride. Pride Festival in Wenatchee has received city funds since 2020. I was on the board of Wenatchee Pride for many years. We've received thousands of dollars from the city to put on that festival. So if that's not city-sponsored, I don't know what is. Again, I wish we didn't have to care about these banners. I really wish we didn't have to be here, but we do, and this is important, and your decision matters for people's lives here. Thank you.
You're up next, sir.
Hi, Joshua Tarr, 946 Highland Drive, Wenatchee, Washington. I know this might be regurgitation because I've sent the council this offer, but I want to read it into the public record, so thank you so much for that. I know this has been a rough couple of weeks for you guys. It's not what any of you signed up for, and appreciate all your tireless dedication to the city and its residents. Here's a possible answer to the banner concerns. Let's have a conversation about the Wenatchee Downtown Association managing the banner program. I'm the past chair currently, and across the state, currently the cities that use their Main Street organizations to manage their banner initiatives are Walla Walla, Puyallup, Bellingham, Anacortes, Centralia, Kennewick, and Vancouver. These are the ones that we just had a chance to have a conversation about it with. There's undoubtedly more cities that run the banner programs, and it's standard practice across the nation for Main Street communities, especially when the banners hang a majority within their boundaries, as they do in Wenatchee. We have years of experience with the veterans banners, and even have a private company that has offered to hang them for us, further reducing the burden on the city. The Wenatchee Downtown Association has been intimately involved in the banner program for years as the coordinator of the Veterans Banner Program and a large financial partner with the city and Apple Blossom in those banner stanchions. So please consider this offer to further this conversation as a state and nationally recognized and accredited Main Street program supported by the knowledge and experience of countless communities across the U.S. Thanks again for your service to this great city. Appreciate it.
Come on up.
Hi, my name is Jessie Healy. My address is 1811 Jefferson Place in Wenatchee, Washington. I've served the Wenatchee Valley as a preschool teacher for many years here, and I am so grateful that I live in Wenatchee. The process of being able to submit applications for street banners is fair and important. Thank you for your decision to maintain a clear and fair process for the use of street banner spaces. I am thankful for your commitment to ensuring that these opportunities remain available to all organizations, not just one side of the political equation. The clear process like this strengthens trust in our community. Every organization has the chance to follow these rules and file for street banners, and I am grateful for your leadership and willingness to uphold these recommendations and regulations. Thank you.
I'm just grabbing whoever's hand I see first. So you two pick over there.
Hello. My name is Allison Bettinger. I live in East Wenatchee, but would prefer not to give my full address for my own safety, and I'm here concerning the Pride banners. The last city council meeting I was at was in East Wenatchee on the day they decided to strike down their Pride banners. It was only a few months ago in reality, but that day feels so far in the past for me. I've spent the intervening months speaking, arguing, chanting, pleading, yelling, demanding, and I just don't think I have much left to say. The events of the past year and a half speak for themselves. In the past few weeks alone, the Trump administration has used the legal challenge to the NFA to try to restrict transgender people's access to firearms and limit our Second Amendment rights. As someone said earlier, a University of Washington student was killed in a laundry room. She was transgender. And apologies. This last week, President Trump issued the counterterrorism document for 2026, labeling any transgender activist as a terrorist threat that was to be identified and targeted by alphabet agencies. These debates about pride banners in our small towns are not removed from these events, no matter how inconsequential they seem. So which side are you on?
Sir? You'll be next. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Winter. I'm a resident of Wenatchee. I'm here representing Shayla Winter, who could not be here today as a member of Out NCW. Offices are on 15 Palouse down Wenatchee, and I live up by the middle school. Shayla is the secretary and treasurer of Out NCW, and I'll be sharing their experience trying to apply for banners this last month. On April 30th, Shayla emailed Tammy McCord with the Wenatchee Clerk's office asking when the earliest time they could submit an application for banner was. They responded at 8:13 on May 1st. Banner applications can be submitted no more than 180 days in advance of the start date. At 10:02 that same day, less than 2 hours later, the clerk's office accepted and stamped received the Wenatchee Downtown Association's banner application for November 1st. That is 184 days before, and in direct contradiction to what Out NCW was told by the clerk's office less than 2 hours prior. At midnight, May 5th, Out NCW submitted an application for November 1st via email, and I myself stood outside the clerk's office at 7:45 in anticipation of the office opening at 8. When the office opened, I was the first and only person to turn in a completed application on behalf of Out NCW, including artwork with payment at the start of business 180 days before November 1st. At that time, the city employee who took the application did not stamp it and told me they would likely be denied because the veterans banners had already taken that spot. At 9:44, May 5th, the same day, Tammy McCord emailed Shayla and told them the application was denied and payment would be returned. Soon after, the president of Out NCW called to speak with the Wenatchee Downtown Association to ask about their experience applying. They were told that the clerk's office told them they could submit their application early, something in direct contradiction to what Out NCW was told. And to be clear, Out NCW appreciates the time and work of the WDA and the Veteran Banner Program, and especially those who work tirelessly for this community within them. The city changed the dates on behalf of WDA to start on October 28th, which means it is now matching the required 180 days on the application they submitted on May 1st. This shows that the clerk's office can make autonomous changes based on intent and approve specific applications of their choosing. The city then completely suspended the banner program to all further applications on May 5th. When NCW Equity Alliance previously applied for banners, however, they were denied due to procedural issues about artwork, which was already on file, and told that nothing could be done because the process is absolute. Out NCW was told one thing while a favored applicant was told something else. This leads one banner being approved over another based solely on city discretion. NCW Equity Alliance was denied based on procedure. Out NCW was denied because a favored applicant was allowed to apply early. The contradictions show clear and distinct favoritism being applied by our city's government. And it cannot be ignored that in both cases, the denied parties are those championing marginal voices in our community. I ask that
you had your hand up earlier.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm hearing about the different banners and different people wanting banners and artwork.
We'll start the 3 minutes over. Just your name and address.
My
for the
name
record,
is
please.
Ron Bruno, 1705 Brandy Court, Wenatchee, Washington.
Thank you.
When I hear everybody talking about banners, what I don't hear is really what they mean. I myself came back from Vietnam, unwanted, unwelcomed, no home to go to. And I found Wenatchee. Wenatchee became my home. I started a healing process with my brothers and sisters who are, a lot of them are here this evening. These banners don't just reflect artwork. These banners reflect a way of life that we had to live. They're part of our healing process. And I can understand, regardless who it is that wants to put up a banner, they're going to have deep thoughts and feelings about them. But it's not just a banner. It's not just a piece of artwork. It's a healing process for us veterans. And I'm sure you've all heard about all the mental health conditions our veteran community has suffered. This is helping and assisting that. It's showing them that people do care. Our community does care. It does support us. And I encourage you, before you make any decision, don't look at this as banners, don't look at it as individual groups, but how are we benefiting our whole community? I just want you to think about that when you make a vote and decide what to do. I personally feel it should be put into city code. The month of November since 1919 has been recognized as Veterans Appreciation Month. And long live our veteran community. Without them, you wouldn't be sitting where you're at. Thank you.
Hold on. Hey, it works. We want to hear your comments, but it works both ways for either group. So, come on up.
Good evening. My name is TJ Farrell. I live in East Wenatchee, and for similar reasons to a previous speaker, I do not wish to give my street address. We have been through all this with the East Wenatchee Council. It was started out predicated on a lie that it would save the city money, when in fact they didn't even know how much it cost to put up the banners, and it turned out it hardly cost them anything at all. And that cost was voluntary. There was an offer to defray those costs voluntarily from another group, and they still turned it down. We heard the same platitudes from them. Everyone's welcome here. We want people to feel welcome here, and then they voted unanimously to get rid of pride banners. We see you. We hear you. Be very careful that your actions and your words are not at odds with each other. You can't just say everyone is welcome and then turn down pride banners or veterans banners or whatever group comes up here that isn't church affiliated, hate group affiliated, or adjacent to churches and hate groups. It was eye-opening a few minutes ago to see that applause was given a performance correction and told no noise, no applause. And yet a few minutes earlier, when a large number of people in the back booed, none of you said anything. Not a word, not a gesture. So be very careful that your words and your actions match, because right now they are not. And saying that you have LGBTQ friends and family members and you've talked to them and they're fine with it is right up there with saying, well, I have a black friend and he doesn't mind my using the N-word. All right? You want to support and welcome anybody in this community? Take action. And by take action, I mean keep the pride banners up. Keep the veterans banners up. Keep whoever is needing representation in this community involved in the process. You can't just say that you want to welcome people and that you have friends who don't think the banners are important. your constituents tell you what is important. Thank you.
Sir in the red shirt was first. Thank you. I think it's red. Rust, red.
Thank you. My name is Joe Cox. I actually am in East Wenatchee, so go East Wenatchee. No, I'm just kidding. Good evening. My name is Joe Cox. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran who served from 1994 to 1998. I come from a third-generation military family. My grandfather stormed the beaches of Iwo Jima, my father in the rice fields of Vietnam, and I served in Bosnia and Panama. My wife also served in the United States Army. Throughout history, nations have honored those who fought and sacrificed for the freedoms their citizens enjoy. The Greeks remembered Leonidas, Britain honored Churchill, whose leadership helped defeat actual Nazis. America honors Washington, Lincoln, and countless others who stood when their country needed them the most. Here in our valley, we honor our veterans with banners. Those banners are not political statements. They are memorials. They are reminders. When I drive by and see the faces of young veterans hanging above our streets, I take a moment to remember that's someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's husband, wife, mother, or father. Many of them have gave everything so that they could stand here tonight, so we could stand here tonight and freely speak our minds. Those banners remind us that freedom is not free. It was paid for by blood, sacrifice, broken bodies, lost friends. Sleepless nights, and in some cases, lives cut short. There is also, for the next generation of young kids that are going to be walking down those streets, looking up and seeing the banners and seeing the courage, service, and duty. Maybe the banner inspires them someday to stand up and defend this nation. If you look around you in this room, you may see an old warrior still quietly carrying himself with pride. Maybe a World War II veteran in a wheelchair, and a lot of Vietnam veterans who came home and were treated terrible despite answering the call that their country had called. These men and women protected the rights for everyone, including the right to sit here and disagree with each other, protest, and speak freely, and live lives as we choose. That is what those banners represent. When you see it blowing in the wind, remember, freedom that we enjoy tonight exists because the generations of Americans were willing to defend it. So I ask you, what kind of nation are we going to be? One that remembers...
Sorry, sir, we have to discontinue after 3 minutes. Linda, you want to come up? Then I recognize you next, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Linda Haglund, and I live at 824 12th Street Northeast in East Wenatchee. I am a proud volunteer and serve on the boards of the Wenatchee Valley Veterans Hall. The Wenatchee Valley Veterans Hall assists the Downtown Association in gathering the data and helping Rosa do this Herculean effort to get 100 banners to support our veterans the month of November. We've been doing this program since 2018. If I could take a minute, no outside anything, but I would just ask anybody who served any conflict in any branch to please stand so you can see who is in this room. Could you stand for me? They fought for the right to say anything you want to say, to tweet anything you want to tweet, to put anything on Facebook. They fought for the rights for you to run for political office and serve. They fought for your rights, and I'm here on behalf of them to say they're not judging anybody's lifestyle. They fought for it. We're asking you to consider doing a code that honors our hero veterans the month of November. not a crazy application process, that somebody's got to apply earlier than anyone else, that the message is clear. We honor our heroes here. Please don't take the easy way out to put a metal banner that really doesn't mean anything. And please, please remember, they fought for our rights, and now they shouldn't have to be fighting this battle. It hurts deeply that they have to be here to do that, but they care enough to be here. So Mayor and Council, I have one question you don't have to answer now, but after your roundtable, I was a little confused. Are you going to pause all banners from today on, or the ones for this year going to hang? And that was not clear in your roundtable. I know you're going to do the studies and talk about codes, but you said to pause all banners. So just to be clear, if someone could clarify that for the Downtown Association, if our banners will hang this year, because we have a lot of veterans counting on it. Thank you.
You're next, sir.
My name is Keaton Lauder. I live in Wenatchee, 1020 Glenwood Ave. And I just want to say thank you to the City Council for being here and allowing this discussion to take place. And, you know, I feel like the issue that we're debating today is really a free speech issue. I agree with the veterans that have come up here and talked about how that's been something that they have fought for, is free speech. And these banners are a form of free speech. I agree that, you know, the application process, the way that it is orchestrated could be more organized, better communication, that sort of stuff. But I think that it is important to free speech to allow it to be an open process for anybody well, not anybody, but for organizations to apply for, who meet the 501c3 requirements and that sort of thing. Because it's just, hold on. But yeah, it's a free speech issue, and it's something of where these banners allow citizens to have a voice in what's displayed in their city. Thank you.
This lady right here, then you, sir, after that.
All right, good evening, City Council members and Mayor. My name is Barb Andre Van Lith. I'll give you my business address. It's 249 North Mission Street. I've been a business owner in Wenatchee for nearly 30 years and care deeply about this community, the people in it, and the message we send about who belongs here. What has happened with the Pride banners has become more than a disagreement over applications or policy language. It has turned into a political game where organizations are learning how to weaponize city policy against other groups in order to exclude them. And whether intentional or not, that is exactly what has happened here. A policy that was supposedly designed to create fairness has instead created division, resentment, and a very public message that some families and some members of this community are less worthy of visibility than others. I keep hearing the phrase, first come, first serve, as though that alone makes this fair. But fairness is not just about technicalities. Fairness also requires good faith, consistency, and leadership. The reality is this: if city policy can be manipulated in ways that pit groups against each other and create harm in the community, then the policy is flawed. And council has the power to address that, which is great that you guys are here and doing that. You are not powerless here. You have the authority to place a policy on the banners, pause the process, and take the time to create something thoughtful, balanced, and community-centered instead of allowing the situation to continue escalating. Because right now, many people in this community do not see neutrality. They see exclusion. And I want to say something very clearly. Not every family in Wenatchee looks the same, but all families deserve dignity, visibility, and respect. I love this city. I have raised my own family here. I have built businesses here, and I want to continue believing Wenatchee is a place that chooses inclusion over division and leadership over technical excuses. It's not too late to get this right. Thank you.
Sir, you're next. Then you will be next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is Corporal Michael Roth. I live at 300 Okanagan Avenue, Wenatchee, Washington, 98801. I just want to say what the banners mean to me. As a veteran, when you see the banners, you remember those individuals who answered the call to duty, who served this country, made this country great. All my family were in combat except my sister. She was a career teacher. And I am very thankful for Wenatchee being a welcoming city to veterans. I've never felt more appreciated than when I moved here. My wife was from here, native, and when she passed, I retired from working the docks in Tacoma and I came here. I never had children, but her two daughters accept me as their father, so that was a nice thing. But I just want to say that I think it's important for encouraging the up-and-coming generation to see that it's not an issue of entitlement. It's an issue of earning. It's an issue of service. And I think it's going to be good for the upcoming youth to see those banners as an encouragement to serve their country. I don't know how many of the council members have lost children to military service, but it really changes when you have. And what I mean by that is if you lost a son or a daughter and you went down Wenatchee Avenue and you saw your daughter or son's picture up there with the years of their service, I'd be a proud parent, hopefully not to ever see that, but if I did, I would be very proud of my children. I just want you to know that Wenatchee has been a welcoming city to veterans. Most have I experienced, and I've been in many places in the world. And I appreciate the bus link transit putting the veteran material on the side of their buses. I appreciate the banners, and thank you so much. And I hope you'll consider that when making that decision. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I am Caden Vasquez. My address is 331 Stony Brook Lane in Wenatchee, Washington. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Thank you for this fair and open process for us to be able to have this open discussion and discussion for the Family Month for this June. Before marvels were ever built, before the pillars of government institutions were ever built, it was the families that were first established as the first institution of government. And as we approach America's 250th anniversary, what a perfect time to honor the mothers and fathers who pour their lives into raising the next generation, the children who are the blessings to our home, our neighborhoods, and for ultimately our future. Celebrating strong families for the month of June isn't about excluding anyone, but about lifting up what we all know is good, foundational, and worth honoring. So I'm personally very grateful to be able to have this discussion, and in light of that, I come from a family who have served in the U.S. military for 4 generations, and I am all for the Veterans Month to be able to stand and discourage any form to be able to take them down. Every children in our generation should be able to look up to the veterans and the men and women in the past who fought to give them the right to be able to stand and be able to address this assembly. Thank you.
In the back with the hat on.
My name is Denali White, and I am also withholding my address for my personal safety, but I am Wenatchee, 9801. Aren't you tired of this? I know I'm tired of this. Looking around this room, I see a lot of familiar faces. Many of us also attended the East Wenatchee City Council meetings where the banner policy was discussed. I didn't speak at the East Wenatchee meetings because I am not an East Wenatchee resident, and I wanted to leave space for those who were, but there's nothing stopping me now. I am not here to beg. I am done begging. I am done attempting to convince people of my humanity and of the humanity of my neighbors. I am here to say that you are not going to get rid of us. The people who are in this room and outside of it are going to keep fighting, no matter how long it takes. Right now, local bigots are riding high on their victory, They won the battle, but they aren't going to win the war. Because queer people are nothing if not resilient. No force on earth can fully suppress us, as much as you may try. We have always been here and we always will be. As long as there are humans in Wenatchee, there will be queer people. That is simple fact. I promise you, we will outlast you. We will outlast your terms on the city council. We will outlast any administration, no matter how fascist. We will outlast any hate group, like Turning Point USA. If you take away the pride banners today, they will come back someday, and the world will not be kind to those who work to remove them. You can remove the pride banners off of city property, but you can't remove the pride flags from people's clothes, from our yards, from our businesses, from our hearts. You can't remove the queer people from Wenatchee, which is what this is really about. Yes, I am tired of this. I am tired of showing up to meetings where cowards in positions of power tell me there is nothing they can do but roll over and let the fascists walk over them. I used to think of myself as a coward, but I have learned that the world is run by cowards, and those of us with no power are the brave ones, because we are the only ones willing to stand up to the people in charge and tell you that we won't let you take away our rights, no matter the personal cost to ourselves. I am tired, but I'm going to keep showing up. You will not get rid of me. We are the ones with true resolve. And in the end, we will be the ones who win, every single time. The bigots will either lose now or they will lose later, but they will lose. Will you be cowards or will you be brave?
This gentleman coming up, and then the person leaning against the pole will be next.
My name is Mark Harley, live in East Wenatchee, but I still got, I promise to behave. I came here in 1952. I was 6 years old. I was adopted by a World War II veteran who had his family here. And it took me till in 67, I got a letter that says, come on down and join us. And I went. I came home. I had no problems. I finally went in a parade with my dad, Mayor Lynch, and a bunch of old World War II vets, and I swelled up. A few years back, I helped start a nonprofit organization for veterans here in Wenatchee, the Bunker. Proud man to do it. I don't think some people should come up here and threaten the government with their statements that you can't run us out, you can't do it. Sorry, I don't buy that. I didn't come up here to threaten you guys. As the veterans banners aren't up, we're gonna have hell. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the gentleman on the. Okay, this is the last time, you'll be excused next time you do that. We're not doing clapping, we're not doing cheering, you're not doing, so you, sir, will be excused next time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Person leaning against the pole.
Hello, thank you for your time. My name is Skylar Hinkey. My address is 1020 Glenwood Avenue, Wenatchee, Washington. I would like to thank you guys just for opportunities to come up and to speak and to discussions like this, and for the capitalistic way that we have this, that we can have opportunities to do things like this. I would also like to just say that the family flags does not mean and does not represent or exclude, I should say it doesn't exclude gay families, because it's all families as a whole, because that's what has made our country, is the family unit, is families after families building what we have. Gay families, regular families, all families. And I would also just like to ask, without overstepping, that we just avoid from calling each other hate groups or bigots or any terms of like that on either side of the party, just to respect each other and to care about each other's individuals. I don't mean to degrade or devalue any individual, and I don't think any family or person should be degraded in this discussion. I think we're all just people. We all have ideas and thoughts on this matter, and I just ask that we respect each other in that, and that's all. Thank you for your time.
Sir in the back raised his hand first, and then I recognize you next, sir.
Terry McMaster, East Wenatchee. Although I have a vested interest in the city of Wenatchee, I'm retired from here, so I hope that allows me to speak. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I went to that country the same year I graduated from high school. I did 2 tours serving with the Inshore Undersea Warfare Group and returned home in July of '68. The welcome received was one of disdain, anger, and assault. Fast forward 50 years, and we vets are recognized and thanked for our service. One of the most healing, gratifying measures of that is this banner program that is under scrutiny here today. I, like others who have found their likeness and stories memorialized on these banners, am greatly humbled. The banners are not for the individuals displayed, but rather friends, family, and the public at large to know a little history of those captured on them. The banners stand as a testament to the community's steadfast support of those who served. I support the community. I hope the community will continue to support this very worthwhile endeavor, and those in power will make it so. Thank you.
My name is Josiah Scapman. I can't reveal my address for my personal safety. But on behalf of the City Council, I just thank you for allowing us to do this. This has been a fantastic opportunity. I think there's 2 problems that we're addressing tonight. One is the concern that you would remove the right for individuals to represent the veterans here. And I think that'd be a shame because in 1982, vertical banners kind of became the pinnacle that was nationalized on how veterans were shown and respected after the city of Los Angeles put up banners for the Olympics that was hosted there in 1948, I believe. And so I think it would be ashamed if you guys would go down as the ones to take that away from them and take away what they've done. And for the record, I thank all these men and women that have served behind me. As a young guy here, I appreciate all the things you guys done for us. So thank you. The second issue we have here tonight that we're addressing is it sounds like may have been an application error or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the full situation, the details, but second is whether the supporting of the LGBT community banners or these Family Month banners. Personally, I like the Family Month banners. I think if you study any subject around the LGBT community, Babylon, Greece, Rome, they have always been a contributing factor, and studies have shown that they're the contributing factor of a failing society. Whenever you make that public, you are invited in that they are the sign. You are welcoming into a collapsing society. And so just for historic reasons, I can't support that in our community, and I would much rather support something family that have always been around. And so for those reasons, I'd just like to say thank you for supporting the banners of the Family Capital Month. And also, I would, if you are going to write this into code, I would like to make one distinction here. If you could distinct that Apple Blossom and Veterans, and then I think June should become the Family Capital Month in Wenatchee, Washington. Thank you. Have a great day.
Sir?
Thank you. Thank you for having this forum. You have some tough decisions that you have to make. My name's Norm Gutzweiler. I live at 28 Grey Goose Lane, Malaga, Washington. Other than 3 years, 9 months, and 28 days, I've been here my whole life. I'm a Marine. I've been a Marine since 1966, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to go out and help my country and other people around the world. We stood up tonight, we said this Pledge of Allegiance. 250 years we've been here, and we've been here because of the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, Coast Guard. Look behind you, there's a banner, Stars and Stripes. We should be very proud of that. The banners that are put up for these veterans are showing the pride that we should be giving them, not the kind of pride that they weren't given when they came home from Vietnam. There was no pride. There was spit, kicking, names. People sucked it up, they went to work, and now they're retiring and they want to come back and they want to live and appreciate it. And what happened? They found out that there were other people within this community went through the same thing. We have a wonderful Veterans Hall. We have a bunker. We have people that are able to communicate with each other. And they look at those banners and they say, I remember him. I hope that we can continue putting the banners up for these veterans, our sisters and our brothers that helped build this community and build the United States. We should be able to honor them during November when the rest of the country is honoring the veterans. We are part of the rest of the country. We need to be able to honor these veterans and continue to tell them how much we appreciate them and the suffering that they went through and the losses they went through and the times they've gone to the wall and touched it and saw their friends. Nothing more than a name. Please respect those veterans. Respect them all. They're here tonight. They want to know if you will be able to honor them and the rest of their brothers and sisters in perpetuity. And that's what we should do. If you're wearing a lapel pin, if you fly a flag at home, if you look at the banner up there.
Sorry, sir. Thank you. Who's next? You, sir?
Hi there. My name is Ron Kirpus. I live in East Wenatchee. And I was totally unprepared for this, but I feel compelled. I am a Vietnam veteran, served 1966, 67, and 68, 4 battle stars, and the Navy unit commendation. 44 of my shipmates are listed on the Vietnam Memorial Wall on panel 11E. Another 38 are scattered throughout the wall. We came back to a nation divided. When I got out, I was told not to wear my uniform home. They said it's only going to cause unwanted attention. And I did like most of the other Vietnam veterans. I tried to fade into the crowd, not to be noticed. But you know, when the Afghanistan veterans and the Persian War veterans came home, it was the Vietnam veterans that showed up at the airports with signs that said, "Welcome home, thank you for your service." And then it became more of a slogan, and celebrities started saying, "Thank you for your service," and then everybody jumped on the bandwagon. And I appreciate that, I truly do. However, it can't make up for what our country did to us in the past. All we can do is say, not on my watch. We won't go back there. The veterans deserve the respect that they get now, and we just want to make sure that it stays there. Thank you.
Come on up.
Thank you for listening to me today. My name is Kathy Oakes, and I want to share a little bit with you about my husband, Orville Oakes. He passed away about 2 years ago, April 17th. I will never forget when the Desert Storm started, and he'd stay up all night watching CNN, which we did for quite a while. 24/7 news just started. And he said to me, "Honey, I'm going to call the paper and the radio, and I'm going to see if I can have a press conference at the courthouse on the steps." And I thought, what is wrong with you? oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed. No, what are you doing that for? And he said, I don't want those young men that I probably worked with in Little League or those young girls that I coached in softball. I don't want them to come home and be treated like I was when I came home in March of '68 from Vietnam. He served in the Marine Corps proudly, but quietly for the first, maybe till Desert Storm, pretty much. He was a veteran on applications when he applied for work sometimes. He died from Agent Orange poisoning, which took him a day at a time. He didn't die on the field. He was a field radio operator. I'm very proud of him. He doesn't know, well, he might know he's in heaven, but he doesn't know that he has a banner, but I know he does. And my daughter does. Both of my daughters do. My grandchildren, all the young men and women that he coached in our community for 25 years, are very active in our community with the youth. And they always tell me, I always thought the brick down on the corner that used to be Saks, we have our family brick there. And now people don't tell me about the brick that they see when they walk on the avenue. They talk about the banner with Orr's picture on it. And it means the world to me. And I don't want to not, my husband fought for all of these rights that we all have here. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for what you do working in our government. And I'm grateful for the veterans that came tonight and everybody else who came to share. And I just hope that you will find it within your heart, and do it legally, please, to make this proclamation or whatever law you want to put out. Please make it so the veterans will be recognized in November. Thank you.
Well, we've heard quite a few. We have a couple more. Okay, let's get one couple. Who do you have online? Well, in the meantime, while you're working on that, gentleman, you said, come on up, sir.
For those people on Zoom, if you could raise your hand if you'd like to speak, and we will call on you.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, my name is Jim Goodwin. I live at 1307 Castle Rock, Wenatchee, Washington. I've had a lot of different titles. One of them was Sergeant, USMC. I'm a Vietnam veteran, combat veteran. Another one was Captain, U.S. Army. I was a clinical psychologist for the Army, predominantly treating PTSD, one of the side effects of being in a war. And then I came to Wenatchee, and it began the Wenatchee War of Prozac, treating people for depression and anxiety. So I want you to know where I come from. Veterans, by their nature, by what they've done, they've literally put their lives on the line so that we would have all this. This is because our veterans, yes, families are important, and all people are important. Race, creed, color, no matter what your sexual identity is. We're all important people, but veterans are because of who they are, what they did for us. The sequelae of war is still out there for us. I'm dying myself from a heart condition caused by Agent Orange. In my career as an Army psychologist, I treated hundreds of sick veterans from the war, PTSD. That's why the Army basically took me after graduate school. And I did the same here in Wenatchee. Lots of veterans have been treated. Why do they need to be treated? Because you literally have to give up a part of yourself, and many of us gave up our lives because of what we have here. And I just hope that veterans are remembered for that. JFK said famously, God and the soldier all men adore, in times of danger and not before. When the danger is past and all things righted, God is forgotten and the old soldier slighted. Remember who veterans are. Remember what they've done for us. It's significant. They gave their lives. Don't forget that when we decide what we're going to do with these banners. I'm all for gay banners and family banners and this banner. Those are important because they're people, just like me, the rest of us. But veterans, for me, and I guess I'm one, we deserve a little bit different mindset about where we come from. Again, I can't forget to remind you, all of this is due to many veterans giving their lives.
Which means
Okay.
always faithful.
So we have some people online.
Zoe, you're allowed to talk.
Hello, am I able to be heard?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Louis Jaspers. I live in East Wenatchee. I will not be disclosing my address for safety purposes, but I speak before you as a Christian and as a minister, and I speak as a queer trans man, a blessing that I've understood to be by the grace of God and the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I speak here especially as a 28-year resident of the Wenatchee Valley, and for what it's worth, I am also a trained historian, and it feels important to state that previous speakers have made shamefully false claims about historical evidence and non-existent consensus about homosexuality in ancient Rome or Greece. I believe there is room for conversation about the city's banners. I recognize that there are people who do not understand me or people like me, and there is room for curiosity, though I know many in the room are inclined to meet me with fear and misrepresentation. What I do not believe is that there is room for our city banners to be an avenue for spite. Our celebration of diversity banners are not created or designed to spite families, even those families that look differently than my own, but to recognize a community that has been falsely maligned and suppressed through our nation's history, noting that it is illegal to be gay in many states within my lifetime, let alone many not being able to marry until 2015. Turning Point USA's banners, on the other hand, as others have outlined, are clearly intended to spite the queer community and to spite those whose families look differently than TPUSA's narrow definition of acceptable family as one cisgender man, one cisgender woman, and their biological children in one nuclear household. Vector College's past marketing has made it clear that I am not included in their Turning Point USA chapter's celebration of American families. Their leadership refers to my community in terms of slurs as trannies and gay sex men without shame from their pulpits, and have maligned my community as a threat to others without evidence, while confirmed cases of sexual predators emerge within their own communities. It is dishonest if the city or others in the room expect me to see America's Family Month and believe that it celebrates me too, when those who conceive of it have made clear otherwise. Queer families are worth celebrating. My church, my worshiping community, has shown me the beauty of queer families, seeing queer and trans people shine as mothers, fathers, parents, aunts and uncles, both biological and otherwise, siblings, households of chosen families that do not meet the limited language that we have for our models of belonging. My expectation of the city is that you practice discernment in your practice of fairness and transparency, something that has clearly not been practiced in this case by evidence of extending grace to an organization whose national organization's behavior has had it recognized as behaving as a hate group, but not grace to an organization that has partnered with the city on these banners for years. Repeating ad nauseum that the process is fair and open does not inherently make it so, when evidence indicates otherwise. Thank you.
Who else do we have online?
AJ Soto? Go ahead.
Can you hear me okay? Yes. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, we are.
Wonderful, thank you. My name is AJ Soto. Our address is 15 Palouse Street, Wenatchee, Washington, 98801. I'm the president of Out North Central Washington, a local nonprofit organization and partner of the NCW Equity Alliance. In addition to the statement read earlier by another attendee from our treasurer and secretary, I want to express my extreme disappointment in the previously attempted roundtable discussion. With the exception of a couple council members, almost nothing of substance whatsoever was said or brought forth openly, and almost no discussion was had at all. You were given the opportunity to dive deep into this issue, and yet most of you felt a surface level and unprepared statement would suffice for our community. Furthermore, it was absurd that a council member would come so unprepared other than to offer that the age-old adage of, well, I have a gay friend and I have a gay brother, so definitely the stuff I'm saying is true. Absolutely absurd. The entire notion of Family Month, as put forth by TPUSA Vector College, according to Keaton Lauder himself, was to replace Pride Month banners. If their intent was simply to celebrate families, why would they not select a month already dedicated to other celebrations, or a month already indicated as designated for celebrations of families. No, the entire attempt here was to remove pride banners like had been done in East Wenatchee under the notion of fairness and wanting to get everybody included or whatever. And let's be clear, that despite the niceties of fairness and first come, first serve, this policy was never intended to be used fairly. That's clear from its implementation or lack thereof. The absolute blundering of this policy and implementation by city staff has been a clear issue throughout this process, and I highly recommend that the council themselves and the mayor spend some time looking at the city staff members involved and do some internal investigation on exactly who, what, when, and where some of these decisions were made and how the emails were sent, phone calls were made, and apparently text messages that were sent as well. Thank you.
Gentleman in the back, come on up.
Hi, I'm Don Roberts from East Wenatchee. Thank you for putting this together so that people could speak. I am only going to talk about my family. I was in the military, so this is focused on military. My father had 5 children. My oldest brother was in the Army during the Korean War. He had some explosives where he was testing armaments, caused his hearing to be diminished. My next older brother was in the Navy, and he was in Vietnam, and his ship was fired on, but he wasn't hurt or anything. But he was in the Navy. I was next in line. I'm going to talk about me last. My younger brother was a Marine, and he was in Vietnam. And just for clarification, he was gay, and he died of AIDS. So maybe we're being inclusive when we're talking about military people, I don't know. And then my younger sister was in the Air Force. See, we got them all covered. She was in the Air Force, and she was a nurse in California, doctoring people who came from Vietnam, who'd been injured in Vietnam. That was her job. Going back to me, I was in the Navy from 1969 to 73. I did not go to Vietnam, and I can tell you for sure that everyone in our unit felt guilty that people were over there fighting for freedoms, and we were there on the Anacostia River in Washington, D.C., and not on the Mekong River in Vietnam. I worked on the presidential yachts and in the White House. It was a great job, especially during the Vietnam War. It was a wonderful place to make friends with my Navy buddies. And I have a lot of Navy friends. We had a reunion a year ago, and a bunch of us met where the presidential yacht is in Maryland. And just finally, last Thursday, my best friend, Navy friend, who was my best man, and I was his best man, died. And I just want you to know that there are families like that, where a lot of people were in the military. I could go in other generations, but I'm just saying that. And it hurts. I love the banners. I have one that was up last year in East Wenatchee, and I'm assuming it'll be up again this year, because they go up for 2 years, as I'm told. Anyway, thank you very much.
Somebody else online?
There's a phone caller, and I don't know if they want to speak. I need to unmute them and ask.
Okay, give me a second here. Just a second, sir, in front. The girl in the back, come on up. Thanks for being patient. I saw you guys earlier.
Yes, thank you. I'm CC Tang, 1117 Appleland Drive is my mailing address. Everyone, I am a member of the Junior City Council, and today I just wanted to speak about my experience with that and how I felt that's made me more involved and connected to my community. So, firstly, essentially how our meetings work is a lot like the council meetings, except with a lot less people and less important topics to discuss. But recently Parks and Rec came by and they presented to our Junior City Council, and it really opened up my eyes to all the work that's going into our parks and recreation. Who's cleaning up that spill by the slide, or who's fixing the vandalism on the brick wall over there, or who's making sure that our parks are a safe place for our children to play in, right? And that was really eye-opening to see. Another thing that was great to see was Wenatchee Rescue Mission, how they're managing our homeless population. And they mentioned that their numbers of homeless that they've gotten off the streets is nearing 50. And that's an unfathomable number to me, because before I was on the junior city council, as far as I was concerned, 50 was the number of unhoused people in our community. That was the total. But I would have never truly understood the impact and the initiatives that our city is taking without being on the junior city council. And on top of that, one last thing, I live by Red Apple Road. And as you may know, that's connected to Skyline Drive. And also, as you may know, a lot of people don't follow the speed limit going up that road. And I've noticed that the speed bumps have been a very elegant solution for that up that road. And I'm excited to get my license, because I'll know that I'll be driving on safe roads when I'm heading back home. So essentially, being on the junior city council has helped me understand more of the initiatives being taken in this community and in Wenatchee. Thank you.
Hi, Isabella. My Wenatchee address is 1269 Millardale Avenue. And I'm just here to quickly also talk about my personal experience on the Junior City Council. Cece did a great job of talking about kind of what we're learning, and this year has been exactly that. It's been for us to learn and become more familiar with the processes of local government. But I'd like to talk about my personal outcomes from Junior City Council, as many of us have became very passionate about certain topics that we've learned about. In general, I would say this council has helped me open my eyes to public policy in the different aspects, and through that I was accepted by the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute's Next Generation program, where next month I'm really excited to travel to Washington, D.C. and advocate for some issues that some of our community members have talked about here today, such as equity and different types of freedom of expression and freedom of speech. And I'm also really excited to take what I've learned in the Junior City Council, every single lesson that I've had when it comes to taxes, when it comes to the way that a board meeting is held, how to motion, things like that. I'm really excited to take that to DC, and when I look at my representatives in the eyes, say, this is what I've learned, this is what I want to do in the future, this is some of the things that my community needs, these are some of the things that Washington State needs, and these are some of the things that are happening in my community. I'm really excited to speak to representatives and people in Washington State about that. So I thank you, the council and the mayor, for not only helping me be on that junior city council, but for allowing all of us youth to have a changed future and a voice already so young in council, in the public of Wenatchee and all of the public relations. So thank you, and also thank you to the community members who are here today practicing your freedom of speech, and I think it's so important to be here advocating for what each of us believes and setting a great example for the youth. So thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for participating in Junior City Council. We have somebody on the phone. You have to unmute them, you said, or?
Yeah, if your number is 860-9667 and you'd like to speak, go ahead. No.
Sir, you want to come up?
Thank you. My name is Ben Jordan, and I have lived here since 2020. I'm an attorney at Overcast Law Offices, and I have heard a lot of very concerning statements about the way this process was handled, this rule change. This isn't a free speech issue. This is dealing with equal protection and due process. And those rights have been offended. I pay taxes here. I don't want my tax dollars to have to go toward a settlement agreement or a lawsuit for discrimination, which is what we're facing here if you don't do the right thing. and reinstate the pride banners for the month of June this year. As I understand it, this case has caught the attention of the ACLU, and this is something to be taken very seriously, and I just hope you'll do the right thing. And for the record, I am a resident of Wenatchee. 1405 Poplar Avenue is my address, and I would like to subscribe to the comments made by my colleagues Jesse Reams, Catherine Hauser, and the pastor, I believe their name is Zoe, AJ, the representative for the North Central Washington Equity Alliance. Andrew made some comments, and pretty much anyone in favor of Pride, I'll subscribe to their comments as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Micah. I'm withholding my address. I live and work in this community, and I'm standing here not just to speak, but to ask that we be given a real opportunity to be heard. We have serious unanswered questions about what happened with the Turning Point USA application and about how and why it was pushed through despite being also incomplete. This community deserves an explanation, not a brushed aside answer buried in a packed agenda. A real transparent accounting of what occurred and why. And what we do need, I believe, is a true public hall dedicated specifically to these concerns, a space centered on this issue and on the broader concerns many people have regarding the treatment of marginalized communities in our region. And I'm not saying this alone. Our petition has been circulating throughout this community calling for a dedicated town hall and has gathered over 1,000 signatures. 1,000 of your neighbors, your coworkers, your voters, your fellow residents have signed their names and said we need more than this. That is not a fringe concern. This is a community speaking. The people of Wenatchee, and actually probably East Wenatchee, deserve an opportunity to openly share their experiences, their concerns, their fears, and their hopes for the kind of community we want it to be. That conversation should include the concerns people have raised about the growing influence of right-wing extremism, Christian nationalism, and the role of organizations such as a certain church that may be playing and shaping the local culture and policy of our community. Whether people agree or disagree, these conversations are already happening throughout this community. They deserve to be addressed openly, respectfully, and transparently, and not minimized, not rushed through, and not redirected onto groups like NCW Equity Alliance. People deserve to be heard fully, not in these 3-minute soundbite increments at the beginning of a very long agenda. We are asking you, the council, the city, to demonstrate that you take this seriously. Commit to a dedicated town hall, give this community the space, the time, and the respect it deserves to have this conversation. We are not asking for conflict, we are asking for honesty. We are asking to be treated as full members of the community, not managed, not minimized, but genuinely heard. We deserve that, all of us, and thank you for this time.
Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll close our. Oh, come on up. Can't see you on the way back. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
All right. Name's Eli Phillips, address 11 Emma Drive in Wenatchee. I'll be very brief here. I haven't prepared a statement, so I'll be quick, but I just want to point out most of the arguments that I've heard against the banners, and to clarify, I am for the accepted banners for the family month in June. A lot of the arguments I've heard against are about the process being unfair. I work in construction. I'm familiar with the RCW acceptance processes and official submittals being accepted or rejected based off RCW code. And I just wanted to say that none of the processes here were disputed up until this year when the content of the banners was disagreed upon. So I don't think that the issue is necessarily due with the process this year, although of course that could be amended in the future. I think that the issue with the that's being discussed here is with the content of the banners, and I think that to move away from honoring the city codes and regulations this year would undermine the public's trust and the taxpayers' trust for that matter. So I don't think it should be reconsidered this year based off of that basis alone. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Anybody else on the way back I can't see? Come on up. you haven't come up yet?
My name is Lily Arendt. I would not like to disclose my address. Good evening. I am very thankful and appreciative for you guys allowing the fair process for us to submit these Family Month banners. And just thank you for the time that you've put for this meeting. I would like to show my support of the Family Month banners. I think it is important to celebrate families of America, and I don't see a problem in it. I think recognition and appreciation to families deserve to be celebrated. As you had your table discussion, I felt the unsureness and neutrality of your words with what was being said, and I hope that in the process of your decisions, you make it not just off of the voices that are screaming the loudest. I hope that you make it upon America's founded morals that reflects under God. Thank you.
We got two more people in the back, I think.
And we have someone online.
Okay.
Good evening, council members and fellow Wenatchee residents. I'm here tonight to speak in support of the city's decision regarding the June banners, but I also want to be clear, I do not support ending the banner program entirely. This process this year was fair. The city had clear rules, complete applications, first come, first served. One organization followed these rules and one did not. The city made the right call.
Point of order.
Yes?
I did not hear the gentleman state his name at the beginning. I would like
did
to
you say
return
your
him.
name?
No, I did not.
I'd like to return him to at least 2 minutes and 50 seconds if he chooses to continue.
Yeah. My name is Roland Schmitten and I live on 7569 US Highway 97. Okay, I will resume. This process this year was fair. The city had clear rules, complete applications, first come, first served. One organization followed these rules and one did not. The city made the right call. What I do support is keeping the program alive for banners that reflect broad community values, honoring American families, celebrating our veterans, recognizing our heritage. These are messages that unite Wenatchee, regardless of background or belief. Ending the program completely would take that away from everyone, including our veterans who deserve recognition on those polls every November. The rules were the same for everyone. One group followed them, one group did not. That's not discrimination, that's fairness. Let's keep the program, keep it fair, and keep it focused on what brings communities together. Thank you.
Gentleman with the hat, did you come on up, sir?
I'm Rodney Smith. I wish not to disclose my address. And thank you for the opportunity for everybody to speak. It's good to have discussion back and forth, to be able to express views back and forth, so that voices are not silenced and can raise issues that they have been thinking about and for a long time. And thank you, and I thank the veterans around me for making this all possible. That's a real reality check in where we're looking at in Wenatchee at this time. And I agree that there has been a lot of name-calling, fascists and bigots, and a lot of hate generated. And this is not the way to go. This is not the way to have discussions. TPUSA, whoever they are, they've been misaligned. And they even had their leader assassinated because of all the hate generated. And we have heard of another person. I don't know about any transgender person that was killed in a laundry room at the U of W. But I do know of a Christian that was shot outside of a church because a group did not agree with them. and they were working on their hate. So a process has been done. An application was made that was incomplete. Another application was there that was complete, and that is what the city was decided to do for the June banners, and that should go on. That is the fairness. That is the process that has been done. Thank you.
You said you had something on the phone?
Ben James, it's your turn to speak. Ben, can you hear us?
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. My name is Ben James, and I do not wish to disclose my address. I was born and raised in Wenatchee, Washington, in an American family. I love this city very, very much, and I care deeply about all of its citizens and their well-being and their justice. I'd like to start by acknowledging the veterans here today and throughout this beautiful valley, though there is nothing I could say to adequately thank them for what they have done for me or the sacrifices they or their family members have made. So thank you, veterans and family members, and I hope I get to see your banners come November. I would also like to thank the City Council and the Mayor for how they have handled the situation with the banner application system so far. The roundtable was informative and simple, as it should have been, because all of the information involved is very simple. It appears TPUSA Vector submitted a complete application on time, while the Equity Alliance failed to do so. This is not about ideology. I personally am looking forward to seeing American family banners this June, because everyone I personally know and love, and all of my neighbors in my community, who I do not know yet, but love very much all the same, come from American families, whether rooted in biblical values or not. And I do not believe it's fair for me to be labeled hatefully a fascist or a bigot for this statement. To conclude, I would just like to say that in the 250th year of our nation's great history, I am so thankful for fair processes regarding free speech, the celebration of the veterans that make any of this freedom and safety possible, and to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, through whom salvation is available to anyone who repents of their sin and believes the gospel. Thank you.
Is there anybody else online, Tammy?
No.
Okay, so we're going to close citizens' comment. Anybody else here? Okay, we're going to close citizens' comment. We're going to take a 10-minute recess, and then we'll continue our meeting. What's up? Where's our other council people? Missing anybody? Got everybody? Alrighty. We will go to our consent items, and Councilman Atkins, I think we have a couple changes.
Right, I'd like to make a motion for the city council to amend the agenda, removing agenda item F and adding a proclamation for Police Week to the agenda, to approve the vouchers and minutes from previous meetings, to authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction documents for the acquisition of property rights from the Wenatchee Reclamation District necessary for the construction of the Millardale Avenue Irrigation Canal Bridge Project, City Project Number 2213, to authorize the mayor to sign the temporary construction easement from Wenatchee School District on parcel 222-0154201-000 for temporary repair of the 4 million gallon reservoir, City Project Number 2606, and to approve resolution number 2026-11, reappointing Laura Jakes and Monica Lopez as voting members to the Board of Commissioners for the Housing Authority of Chelan County and the City of Wenatchee for 3-year terms.
Second. We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson, second by Councilmember Rosenstein. For City Council to amend the agenda, removing agenda item F and adding a proclamation for the Police Week to the agenda, to approve the vouchers and minutes from the previous meeting, to authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction documents for the acquisition of property rights from the Wenatchee Reclamation District necessary for the construction of the Millardale Avenue Irrigation Canal Bridge Project, City Project Number 2213, to authorize the mayor to sign the temporary construction easement from the Wenatchee School District on parcel number 222-0154201-000 for temporary repair of the 4 million gallon reservoir, City Project Number 2606, and approve the resolution number 2611, reappointing Laura Jakes and Monica Lopez as voting members to the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of Chelan County and the City of Wenatchee for 3-year terms. Any comments or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have some presentations. Does somebody have the Public Works proclamation?
Yes, Your Honor. This is National Public Works Week proclamation, May 13 through 23, 2026. Quote, rooted in service, powered by community, unquote. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vital, that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Wenatchee. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Wenatchee to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mike Poyer, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee, do hereby designate the week of May 17 to 23, 2026 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join representatives of the American Public Works Association and to government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. In witness whereof, I have caused a seal of the city of Wenatchee to be affixed on this 14th day of May, 2026. Mike Poyer, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Miller. Who do we have? Jake? Get Jake on the spot. Talk away. Is it on?
Yes. Well, all jokes aside, I'm just lucky to be here to support and represent Public Works. We have the biggest department in the city. I said that pretty confidently. I don't know if that's okay. Yeah. A lot of people work a lot of hours. Most of their work is unseen, and it's only known whenever you have issues. Fortunately, which is not very often. So, just proud to be here to represent Public Works Department.
So tell a story about when by the ambulance when the water we used our internal crews at Safety Center.
Yeah.
Tell us one story that
Yeah.
was kind of cool.
This is one story, and again, I had nothing to do with this, so I'll gladly stand up here and take credit for all of it. But no, our utility group is amazing. We had a water main. Unfortunately, this has happened a few times. Water main had a catastrophic failure on Wenatchee Avenue out in front of Ballard Ambulance and flooded their site, flooded the street, shut the road down. Our utility crews, who are awesome, quickly got out there, assessed it, got it taken care of us, tried to limit the water getting onto the site, dug up the road, had it repaired. Fortunately, the DOT was paving up on Tumwater Canyon, so we actually were able to get hot mix in February and had the whole road repaired and all done with internal city crews and back open with a record amount of time for as cheap as you could have done it. So yeah, it just highlighted the skill of all the different crews pitching in, and it was kind of water, sewer, streets, everybody. It didn't matter. It's just whoever was available hopped out there. So yeah.
Thanks for putting me on the spot. Let's see, we have another proclamation, Memorial Day proclamation. Who has that?
I have that, Mayor. I have the Memorial Day proclamation. Whereas, since the inception of our country by the establishment of the United States Constitution, it has on occasion been necessary to protect the concepts of the Constitution, and whereas, at times, it became necessary to resort to armed conflict to protect these concepts, which give each citizen of the United States certain inalienable rights, and whereas citizens of our great country have given their lives in the protection of these unalienable rights, and whereas each year we set aside one day to which we can revive the memory of those who have sacrificed and those who have passed on. Now, therefore, I, Mike Poyer, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee, do hereby proclaim May 25th, 2026 as Memorial Day in the City of Wenatchee, and I urge all citizens to join us in honoring their memory. In witness whereof, I have caused the seal of the City of Wenatchee to be affixed on this 14th day of May, 2026. Mike Poyer, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. May 25th, we're going to be at the Evergreen Cemetery at 9 o'clock. We'll be honoring our fallen at that time. At 10 o'clock, we'll be at the Wenatchee Cemetery. And then 11 o'clock, we'll be down at Pybus Market at the boat launch to release the wreath for the river, for the Navy. And then at 12 o'clock, it'll be at the Pybus Market for the salute and the gun volleys, for the 21-gun salute for our fallen. And we'd love to have you there. Please come. It's a very touching moment for a lot of us. And with that, I'm going to let Ron speak.
Thanks. So this day is for the people that can't be here, and we're standing to represent them because they can't be here. And we invite you to be there with us. Thank you.
Seriously. Okay. You guys
Now you're excused. Now we allow the clapping for you guys. All right. Historic Preservation Month proclamation. Councilmember Harold.
Thank you. Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability, and whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. Now, therefore, I, Mike Poirier, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee, do hereby proclaim the month of May as National Historic Preservation Month in the City of Wenatchee, and I urge all people in our community to join me in recognizing historic places for the purpose of instilling national and community pride, promoting heritage, and the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. In witness whereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Wenatchee to be affixed on this 14th day of May, 2026. Mike Poirier, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Harold, for reading that into the record. Who do we have? Hey.
I made board members come with me this year, so the City of Wenatchee is a certified local government, so as one, we get to maintain our own local historic register, and as part of that, we have a board of volunteers who helps us implement that program. And some of the work that this board does is they review properties that are being rehabilitated and approve tax incentives for that work, bringing reinvestment into our city's older buildings. We also partner with the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center and the Downtown Association to bring educational programs to the community. One particularly is our historic home tour that is going to be happening June 20th this year. And the museum will have tickets online soon. And then just kind of a last thing is that also with the work of the board, we apply for grants that are available. So one of the big accomplishments they did last year was they funded a historic context to look at our mid-century modern assets, so we can start preserving those for the city. And also a grant was received this year to do restoration work on the Home of Peace Mausoleum for the city. So just wanted to highlight all their effort and their volunteer time for that. So
Somebody give us an example of, can't be you.
I did them all.
We did one example, like if somebody's in a historic district and they want to change windows or something.
Don't touch your windows.
Think of a project downtown or something that came back to life.
We've just reviewed it at Exciting One.
There you go.
Cindy Bolin. We just reviewed the museum for their certificate of appropriateness for all the amazing work that they're going to be doing. And that's just a good example of the building wasn't built to originally house a museum, but we still want to maintain the historic features, but also have it function as it is operating now. And it, so we had to approve some changes, and I think that's just a really good highlight of what the board does. So.
Saturday. Sorry, if you want to see it, it's groundbreakings on Saturday, and they'll have what the plan is that they'll be building. So, yep.
All right. Anybody else? Did you introduce everybody? Did you give everybody's name?
I'm sorry. So Cindy Volin is our chair. Jeff Atkins is our co-chair, and Kristen, you're gonna have to Bauman, is also one of our board members. So, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Oh, you want a picture? Thank you. Thank you guys. Thanks for all your work. This is fun. Get all the work done. BJ, you're next. Oh, we got one more. Oh, we had to add one. Oh, you got to be patient. Thank you. Who has that?
I do, Your Honor.
Councilman Cuevas.
Peace.
Proclamation for the Police Week. Proclamation to designate May 11th through the 16th, 2026 as National Police Week. In 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15 falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the Wenatchee Police Department play an important role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that the members of our department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, protecting them against violence or disorder, and protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas our police department has grown to be a modern and professional law enforcement agency which unceasingly provides a vital public service. Now, therefore, I, Mike Poyer, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee, do recognize the week of May 11th through the 16th, 2026 as National Police Week, and further extend appreciation to our police chief, Edgar Renfield, and to all law enforcement for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the community they serve. In witness whereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Wenatchee to be affixed on this 14th day of May, 2026. Mike Poyer, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Cuevas, for reading that in the record. Chief Reinfeld, you have some people here too.
I do. So, thank you to everyone. The crowd got a lot thinner in here after comment, but go ahead, Nathan and Brian, come on up here. I'd like to talk, Police Week is our Memorial Week, and Police Officer Memorial Day. There'll be many ceremonies tomorrow in the Capitol Olympia, and as well as in Washington, D.C. at the Memorial Walls and many other places throughout the country. All of us know someone. What's that? And the vigil tomorrow night at the Wenatchee Convention Center, if you'd like to join us, from 5 to 6 p.m. It'll be the only event, I believe, going on in the Convention Center, so it should be easy to find upstairs. But with that, virtually all of us, if we've been in our career for very long, know someone that we have lost in the line of duty, and that goes for all three of us here. Whether however closely we've known them, we have all lost. But we work in one of the greatest and most supportive communities in the country, that we cannot go anywhere without people saying thank you. And it's truly important, and it's truly different than many places in the U.S. And something really important today. Today, I'd like to just talk about Detective Hewitt for just a moment here. Today marks 40 years since a murder that occurred in the city of Wenatchee. That was a cold case. It remained unsolved forever. Decades of investigators looked at this case over and over. At one point, 16 years ago, I had this case when I was in detectives. Was into it for about a week, making my notes about what needed to be done in the case, and then a fresh murder appeared that was a complicated case, and I set it aside. Sergeant Hahn is one of our patrol sergeants. When he was a detective, opened another one of our cold cases. Cold cases are hard, but we never give up. I said a long time ago in a Citizens Academy presentation, the wheels of justice grind slowly, but they do so with immense weight. And because of the work, most recently, by now retired Detective Sergeant Ryan Weatherman and the follow-through by Detective Brian Hewitt, we're able to finally close a cold case from 40 years ago with an identified suspect who is also long since deceased. But that family gets to rest. And it happens not only because of dedicated work by our officers and by the other people in our department, but because of the community that keeps us going, keeps us showing up, and keeps us fighting so that no victim goes unrecognized. So thank you, Council and Mayor, for this proclamation. Please join us tomorrow night at the vigil, and thank you.
Well, thanks for keeping me on track. I forgot we changed our agenda, but not for you. You're still here. Thanks for being patient with us. Come on up. We have a nice presentation.
Well, Mayor and Council, thank you very much for including me on the agenda tonight. For some reason, community cats and banners seem to go together. That's where I started in East Wenatchee and wrap it up here in Wenatchee. So what I'm here to talk about with you tonight is a really innovative and exciting opportunity that the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society has. We have received funding, grants that we applied for specifically to reach out to our municipal partners with grant funding to match for TNR surgeries. That means trap, neuter, return surgeries for unowned community cats. So I don't know about all of you, but I get a lot of calls, and we get a lot of community uproar around community cats. They are unowned cats, and as unowned cats, they are not covered by any RCW. They are not technically owned by anyone, so therefore they're not property. They're nobody's responsibility, and therefore they are everybody's responsibility. And so what I'm excited to be able to present to communities like East Wenatchee, Wenatchee, Cashmere, is a chance for us to come together to solve the problem as a community. So in this proposal, what we're doing is inviting our city partners to match funds. So whatever funds, whatever level of funds the city chooses to put up to a certain amount, the Humane Society will match, and that will cover for the community members who trap and transport the cats to our clinic. It will cover the $50 surgery fee. The $50 that we charge for TNR surgery covers the sedation in the trap, because you can't handle most of them. They're like raccoons. So it covers the sedation, the spay or neuter surgery, the vaccinations that we give, rabies, and the traditional cat core vaccines, along with a cosmetic ear tip that happens under surgery, under sedation, and identifies that cat at a distance visually as a cat who has already been altered and doesn't need to be trapped and altered again. That surgery is done, the cat is put back in the trap and returned to the person who did the trapping. We don't require that they be the caretaker of that cat. We just, that they've done the trapping and the transport. Cat recovers in the trap, and the next day is released back where it came from. A lot of that may seem controversial to business owners or apartment complexes that just want the cat strapped and removed. But in a presentation that I will not bore you with tonight, that doesn't work. Just the way you can't take all the coyotes off your ranch and not have twice as many coyotes in 2 years. Nature abhors a vacuum. It will refill where the resources are, and wherever humans are, there are resources, and wherever humans are, there are cats. And wherever humans are with cats, there are cats reproducing and unowned cats, because people own cats differently, or we have cats differently in our culture than we do dogs. In our culture, you have a dog, it stays inside with you, or it stays in a fenced yard, ideally, unless it shows up at our shelter. So people have different expectations for dogs, but cats are very loosely owned. It's actually very difficult to say in a community, if you were to ask me, well, how many unowned cats are there in the community? I don't know. Free roaming cats, and I'm doing a presentation for anybody who's interested, of the 6 people that are still in the room. I'm doing a presentation on Tuesday night at Ground Control in partnership with Wenatchee River Institute, Science on Tap. It's the secret life of community cats. So more, if you are interested in the idea, I talk more about it there. But from your perspective, if you look at the last page of the packet that I put together for you, there's the 8x10 glossy photo, thank you, Arlo Guthrie, shows a number of cat colonies that we know of at the Humane Society. The reason we know of them is that there's a human being that at some point contacted us for services related to unowned cats in that area. I don't know what the different colors are, it was just colorful. But all of these little dots, there are over 45 colonies in Wenatchee City that we know of. There are a lot more that we don't know of. So What I'm presenting to the council tonight is an offer to match funds. What I'm proposing to start with while we roll this out is a $2,500 from the city, matched by $2,500 from the Humane Society. That $5,000 money will fund 100 TNR surgeries. If you think that sounds like a lot, go talk to Jerry Lee about the Grace House Northern Fruit Cats. We could spend it all on one colony and just maybe start to get it under control. So this is not a one and done proposal. This is let's get this done. When the funds run out, we can talk again. Because we're going to keep applying for grants to do this. This is a year-over-year management proposal for a community problem. And I don't know if you have any questions from that. What I've put in the packet for you is a sample contract outlining what we would offer. And it's up to the council what kind of frequency you want reporting, but basically what we've done with East Wenatchee and Kashmir is that once a month we can tell you how many surgeries we've done and how many are scheduled. Currently for East Wenatchee, Kashmir's still getting started. East Wenatchee started the end of March, took a little while to get traction. You'll see there's a copy of the press release we sent out also in your packet. We currently have done, I think, just over 20 surgeries have been done, and we have 55 scheduled. Now, when you schedule to get a cat in a trap on a certain day, to get there in the morning between 7 and 8 a.m., you don't always get the cat in the trap on time. But we have a dedicated staff member who's available to work with community members on how to do that in a way that will actually get your cat in the trap on the right night or the right morning for your surgery. It still doesn't always happen. So that's why we may have 55 scheduled, but we've got not that many done yet. These funds, like I said, will be available until they're used. So if we don't get traction right away and it takes some time to build, the funds just stay with us until we use them up. When they're done, we'll come back and talk. Any questions?
Would you, go ahead.
No, I'm encouraging questions because I have an idea here. I'm to kind of see what you guys' feedback is, if you like this program or not, or, yeah. Councilmember Miller?
With East Wenatchee currently in process, would you expect their program to be close to wrapped up before Wenatchee's would begin?
You can begin, so you'll begin as soon as we send an invoice and you send a payment. So once those funds are received, we start, press release goes out, we become available to the community to get information, to actually rent traps. We require a refundable deposit on the trap, so we get it back, but it doesn't cost anything ultimately. So we really will support that. In terms of how long, I do expect that we will go through the full funds that East Wenatchee put up with us in this season. And we're in the middle. I was really hoping to launch this earlier in the year to get ahead of kitten season. Kitten season is when all of these cats, they are breeding. If you watch Star Trek, if you're old enough to have watched the original Star Trek and you know the trouble with tribbles, community cats are our tribbles. And really the only reason we're not up to our armpits in them is that they have a very high mortality rate, which is another issue we would like to solve. We'd like to get these populations spayed, healthy, neutered, not fighting, not howling, not territory marking, just existing on the margins, eating the resources that we provide as human beings, and being less of a nuisance and not flooding us with all of the sick, injured, and dying kittens that are coming into our shelter.
Okay, so this may be able to find its way to a consent agenda down the road a bit?
Well, any other feedback? I was actually going to ask Brad, are you paying attention over here? My mayor's budget has some flexibility, and can I use that out of my mayor's budget? I'm just going to stay under, I believe this year anyway. So that's the direction I'd like to go on this. So I'm not sure what the procedure would be then.
You own your budget.
Okay.
Once it's set by council, so you can work within it.
So I'm looking for, if city council, any other questions or comments maybe that can help me?
I just want to say, number one, I've been out there yesterday and today. You folks are doing an excellent job, and thank you.
Thank you.
And I would like to see us participate in this program because I think it's really, really important. And there's nothing that breaks my heart more than seeing these little feral cats running around, and it needs to be controlled.
So does it have to be a consent item if I can take it out of my budget, or I can just do this? I think the answer was I can actually just do this. I wanted her to come to explain it, so I had you guys just like, yeah, this makes sense to
I
you.
would support it.
Okay, that's,
I support it.
Okay.
It'd be a good birthday gift to my wife,
As long
too.
as there's no, yeah, I
Okay.
believe our policies would allow that if it's within your budget and there's not a contract that meets the threshold that needs to be brought to council, then
okay.
you can just.
There's
pay
more
for those
education
services.
pieces why I wanted you to hear, because I just felt that was important. So I'll just take it out of my budget, and we can go from there.
I'm thrilled to be able to help, and it's great timing because now I'll be able to add this to the presentation at ground control next Tuesday and really give people some solid assistance. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, action items.
You covering this for me, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, where are you going?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Dave Erickson, Parks and Recreation Director. I've got 2 items for you this evening. Basically housekeeping items, 2 ordinances. So periodically, we go through the city code and all of our policies and procedures to make sure that they're up to date and meeting with the current situation that we have out there. The first one that we have is with regard to Parks and Recreation fees. So one of the changes in there since the last time we adopted this was we changed the name of the department. So now we're the Parks, Rec, and Cultural Services Department, so we just changed the title. The other kind of main one in there is that we've added a section on refunds. We currently don't address refunds other than in our policy, but we wanted the code to match the policy, so we added a section on refunds. So with approval of ordinance 2026-08, that would be enacted. The second one is with regard to the cemetery. So we took over operations of the cemetery from Public Works in 2019. One of the things that we would like to do is generalize the holidays that are listed in the city code. Since that time, Juneteenth has come on board, which is not reflected in the code. So what we want to do is just generalize it so that way it is city recognized holidays. So if holidays come or go, then our code is still consistent. We don't have to bring it back for changes. Really, those are the 2 changes. We have a whole litany of other code and policy changes that I've burdened Danielle with, and she is working her way through. So you'll see a few more as we move out throughout the year. So that'll try to answer any questions you might have.
Do you want this as one motion or 2?
Yes,
2.
2.
2? Your Honor, I will move for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2026-08, amending section 1.99.030 of the Wenatchee City Code relating to the fees for the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Harold and second by Councilmember Atkinson for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2026-08, amending section 1.99.030 of the Wenatchee City Code relating to fees for the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Your Honor, I'd like to make the motion for City Council to adopt ordinance 2026-09, amending section 9.04.020 of the Wenatchee City Code relating to cemetery hours.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Miller and second by Councilmember Cuevas for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2026-09, amending section 9.04.020 of the Wenatchee City Code relating to cemetery hours. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
evening, Mayor and Council. I'm substitute presenting tonight a couple of items. The first one here is the Crawford Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, just seeking authorization to execute a crossing agreement with the irrigation district. So this project, I think it's come to council a few times for the construction award and some of the other items, but it's replacing water main in Crawford Avenue, roughly from Okanagan all the way to Miller Street. There's a couple of canal crossings there. Most of the city, the canal predates the public right-of-way, so when we interface with them, cross them, we enter into agreements, and so that's what this item here is, bringing a standard agreement, crossing agreement, to have our pipe in to cross beneath the canal. We worked closely with the rec district throughout the design. Their engineers reviewed and approved of our design, and so this is kind of it's the boilerplate. Basically, we received theirs. We've done this before, but we reviewed it with the city attorney, accepted it. Just good partners with them. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the project or the canal crossing here.
No questions. Here, I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to execute a crossing agreement with Wenatchee Reclamation District pertaining to canal crossings associated with the Crawford Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, City Project number 2202.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Osteen and a second by Councilmember Miller for City Council to authorize the mayor to execute a crossing agreement with the Wenatchee Reclamation District pertaining to canal crossing associated with the Crawford Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, City Project number 2202. Any other comments or discussion?
I always feel like since there's already pipe in the ground there, we're just amending an old one, but
Yeah, there's
it's gotta be done.
there also, while we do have multiple utilities and crossings, not all of those were previously under agreements, and so this is kind of an example. Also, as part of this, I should point out, Zach Horton is the project engineer on here. We'll be installing casings and then putting the pipe in the casings. In the agreement is also included in the future if we have to replace that pipe. It would not require another agreement. If we can kind of work within that casing, still have their engineer approve it, but yeah, this is one of those cases where
Good housekeeping, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, again, City Engineer Jake Lewing here, and this is going to seem like deja vu, but here is another canal crossing agreement for the Millardale Avenue Irrigation Canal Bridge. So this one's a little bit different. We originally, this project, and you guys probably recall, but it started out as a pretty significant bridge rehab that quickly turned into a bridge replacement on Millardale Avenue as we dug into it a little bit more and assessed the condition. And it's fully funded, but again, this is just dealing with that bridge and the utilities necessary crossing the canal there at Millardale. So again, boilerplate crossing agreement.
I'll make a motion, Your Honor, for the City Council to authorize the mayor to execute a crossing agreement with the Wenatchee Reclamation District pertaining to canal crossings associated with the Millardale Avenue Irrigation Canal Bridge Project, City Project number 2213.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson and second by Councilmember Harold for City Council to authorize the mayor to execute a crossing agreement with the Wenatchee Reclamation District pertaining to canal crossing associated with the Millardale Avenue Irrigation Canal Bridge Project, City Project number 2213. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brad Posenjack, Finance Director. Late last year, the City Council approved 2 union agreements, one with the AFSCME and one with the Guild. And in each one of those union agreements, there was a paragraph that talked about that the city and the union would explore options for an HRA VIBA plan. HRA stands for Health Reimbursement Arrangement, somewhat similar to a HSA that you're probably more familiar with. VIBA is the Voluntary Employee Benefits Association Trust, and they administer the VIBA plans. Currently, an employee benefit includes, upon separation in certain instances, employees get paid out 25% of their sick leave balance. Currently, that's paid out in cash. The paragraph in both contracts are requesting that it goes into their health reimbursement account, or into a health reimbursement account. We don't have this yet. And before we can do those agreements, which you will hear of one in a minute, we have to adopt the Voluntary Employees Beneficiary Association Trust for Public Employees as the administrator of this plan. This is an organization that I believe over 700 different government entities in the Northwest. They use them. They're the common ones. I know there are several government entities locally here that use the same organization to manage their HRA funds. So, if you have any questions, I can try to answer them.
Your Honor, I will move for the City Council to approve Resolution Number 2026-12, authorizing the adoption of a health reimbursement arrangement plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Harold and second by Councilmember Cuevas for, staff recommends for the City Council to approve Resolution Number 2026-12, authorizing the adoption of a health reimbursement arrangement plan. Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Kim Oglesby, Human Resources Director. Yes, I am piggybacking on what Brad has just brought forward. I have tonight the Memorandum of Understanding between the city and the AFSCME union that will allow us to agree on the revised VIBA payment plan, as well as the actual implementation of the designated VIBA administrator that Brad just spoke about. So tonight I'm seeking motion to authorize the mayor to execute the memorandum of understanding. So within this memorandum of understanding, it does change the language of Article 19.6. This will allow the staff under that AFSCME CBA to take their sick leave, their accrued sick leave, and pay it out towards their HRA VIBA. And that, so it's anyone over 5 years of service here at the city. If they give us 6 months notice, they will receive 33% of that accrued leave. If they give us 6 months and under, they will receive 25% of that accrued leave. So that is what I'm here presenting. I can answer any questions if you have any.
How many represented under AFSCME approximately?
Oh, I would bet it's over 150.
Okay. And fiscal impact is minimal for the city?
Yes, if anything, the city will have a small amount of savings because currently when somebody gets their sick leave cashed out, there is the FICA, the 7.65% FICA that we have to pay the employer's portion, and the employee also has to pay that. When it goes into a HRA, that is not required to be paid by either the employer or the employee. So there will be a small amount of savings by moving this direction.
And I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME to implement the revision of Article 19.6, enabling the modification of VIBA payment provisions and the establishment of a designated VIBA administrator as a voluntary employees beneficiary association trust for public employees in the Northwest.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rogenstein and second by Councilmember Miller for City Council authorize the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME to implement the revision of Article 19.6, enabling the modification of VIBA payment provisions and the establishment of a designated VIBA administrator as the Voluntary Employees Beneficiary Association Trust for Public Employees in the Northwest. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. F we took out, so now we go to G. Jessica.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Jessica Shaw, Deputy Public Works Director, Utilities. And tonight for your consideration, I have a Public Works loan agreement. This is to complete a design of a digester project that will increase capacity of our solids handling system. I want to give a shout out to our pre-treatment technician with the City of Wenatchee, Trenton Osborne. This was his first funding application. He did the bulk of the work and we were very successful with it. We really like Public Works Board loans because they have very low interest rate, 0.85%. There's no loan fees, and this will help us move this project forward. We do hope to, we've moved forward, as you may have noticed. I believe Councilmember Miller noted that this actually, we could bill back to February 20th, which is when the Public Works Board awarded us this funding. And so we have continued to move forward in the meantime. So this is just some paperwork, if you approve, to allow us to use this funding source to reimburse the sewer utility fund for the design. We hope to have design complete by later this summer so that we can apply for Clean Water State Revolving Fund money. So really just trying to stretch those utility dollars as much as we can to help promote our wastewater treatment plant. So happy to answer any questions you might have about the loan agreement or the project.
Entertain a motion.
Take the initiative here then. I'll make the motion to request City Council to approve Public Works Board pre-construction funding agreement for the wastewater treatment plant digesters and boiler upgrades and authorize the mayor to sign that agreement.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilmember Miller and second by Councilmember Atkinson for motion requested by the City Council to approve the Public Works Board pre-construction funding agreement for the wastewater treatment plant digester and boiler upgrades and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. Any other discussion or comments?
How much of an upgrade will this be?
This is actually a pretty big upgrade. So we just finished building digester 4 and like within 6 months realized we were at capacity because of all the growth we've seen in our community with all the multifamily housing. We saw a 20% increase in growth in just 1 year. So that's been huge for our wastewater treatment plant. So this will buy us like another 40, 50 years. So we're super excited. This is a really key improvement. And initially we'd planned on doing some other things, but we really wanted to make sure we were mindful of how we were using our dollars. So we really focused on like, what are the key things that provide resiliency, that accommodate growth. And so this is our best project that we can come up with for the best use of our dollars.
Tell us again when it'll be completed.
So we're hoping to go to construction next year, and it should be maybe an 18-month project. So it's a fairly shorter project compared to like our digester project, as long as there's no more pandemics. That really threw a monkey wrench in our digester project. So as long as things go well, maybe a year and a half to 2.
Your Honor, I will move for City Council to,
Oh,
oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a
been
late
it's
night.
been a long night.
My brain's going dead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was about ready to say, entertain a motion. And then I was like, wait.
My mistake.
Good evening again. This is City Engineer Jake Lewing presenting for our project engineer, Donald Nelson. Just bringing an item here. This is related to this year's pavement preservation project, which is an overlay and slurry seal of various city streets in Wenatchee. The item for you is a contract amendment seeking to retain the consultant that helped us put the bid documents together and retain them through construction to provide inspection, material testing, and just kind of general construction administration services. Again, the cost of the services is around $187,000, which was about 10% of the low bid, which also came in at about 10% below our engineer's estimate. Again, I stated that this is an overlay project, so grinding off and paving new asphalt, but then also doing a slurry seal, which is a new treatment for Wenatchee, similar to a chip seal. But instead of putting oil down and then coating it with rock, the rock and oil is kind of already mixed together and gets squeegeed out over the road. So it's a preservation treatment that goes on roads that are in fairly good condition, again, to just kind of keep them in really good condition. So with that, I guess I'm entertaining any questions about the item here or the company we're hoping to retain.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign an amendment to the contract with Petite Inc., an Ardura company, for construction administration services for the 2026 pavement preservation project, city project number 2501.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Atkinson, second by Councilmember Harold, for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign an amendment to the contract with Petite Incorporated and Ardura Company for construction administration services for the 2026 pavement preservation project, city project number 2501. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mayor's report. Went to the Chelan Douglas Transportation Council today, and our city staff presented a great project that I think will hopefully get awarded. It's a $1.6 million project, I believe. You can correct me as I go up a little bit higher.
That would be the grant portion. We'd have
grant
a roughly 15% match to that, but yes.
So I believe it's going to score well. We'll score it next month and hopefully get awarded for that. So that was the enjoyable today. Now we talked to the other jurisdictions, the other mayors and commissioners, and kind of work out the details to see who has the best projects. And that's it for me. Let's go down the line. Councilmember Cuevas.
Certainly. Since last meeting, Your Honor, I attended the Misawa welcoming reception. Fabulous time, fabulous time. And then I've been attending the museum in certain different days to put in my time of work, my volunteer hours for the museum. And also, we're going to make history happen this Saturday, the 16th, at the museum. Is going to be the groundbreaking. Hopefully, we get to see a lot of people there. 10 o'clock, Saturday, groundbreaking at the museum, 10 o'clock. Please be there.
Councilmember Miller.
Let's see, attended Junior City Council as a guest last week, and the representatives at Chelan County invited me to a training for their homeless task force. That occurred this morning. And that, other than that, of course, the finance meeting earlier. That was it.
I too attended the Misawa reception, and then Sunday I spent my day with all of the dignitaries, driving them around. We went to Pangbourne, of course, and they got to do some flying. They had a great time. And then there was the dinner, the farewell dinner that night, and the mayor was there, of course, too. It was a lot of fun. AWC Legislative Priorities Committee, we met on May 1st and went to Seattle, or SeaTac, and attended that meeting. A lot of review of what was done last year and what we expect to see this year. It's going to be another tight budget. The city, or the state, is still going to have a huge deficit, and getting things through are going to be really hard. Lots of state mandates, but no money to back it up is the biggest problem. Our next council meeting on May 28th, I will be participating remotely. I have to be in Seattle, and, well, on Thursday I'll be in Everett for work, so.
Is that the workshop or the council?
Oh, is it?
Council meeting, okay. There's a workshop next Thursday.
Next Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
I'm here.
Thank you.
Not much, but I have an update from the Community Action Council. They're
commercial kitchen, commissary kitchen is nearing completion, but they've already had 2 local applications to take advantage of the space. And it's really exciting. They want to use it as like a local incubator for people who want to start their own businesses. So that's exciting that they already have a couple people who are going to be able to use it.
I attended Public Works and the Messiah welcoming time there, whatever, yeah. And then I would mention that junior city council applications are still being accepted through the end of May. So if you know anyone in high school that would like to apply, encourage them to do that. And thank you to all of you who have been supportive and have presented and encouraged the students. It's been a good year. We have one last meeting on June 4th, and thanks to the mayor for helping recognize our seniors at the last meeting there, but that was their last meeting there.
It was impressive to have these 2 kids, young adults, come up here, and good for them. That was cool work. Is applications on the website, our website, I guess? Okay, great. All right. Tammy, it's actually more for me. Do you mind, I don't know if everybody's, can you send the application? Because I actually know a couple people I might send it off to. I don't know if everybody else would want that or not.
Yes.
You can think of somebody, yeah, send it to all of
Yeah.
us if you would.
Excuse me.
Okay. Any other announcements from staff?
Technical question, excuse me, is there a possibility of going in by Zoom for the joint workshop, or?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And that joint with the city of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, and it's here. That's correct. Okay. Okay, can we adjourn?
You don't want to stay longer? I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Been a motion second. All's in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.